I haven't made a video in a bit, mainly because the last 2 episodes have kind of made me want to put a sizable indentation into my skull, but also because tackling any one issue with these episodes is extremely difficult, as they all tie into each other. It's a wonderfully connected mess. So, once again, RWBY has great ideas and horrible execution. I'm going to try to keep this just predictions for time's sake. So, Episode 12 of RWBY Volume 7, With Friends Like These. Let's get immediately to the cliffhanger from the last episode, Aesop's vs. RWBY. Well, setting aside the fact that they gave away that they escaped with this promo image, I, for one, am hoping that they stick to continuity and make this a one-sided ass-whooping in RWBY's favor. Let's be clear, the big Aesop's is cool moment in Episode 3 loses its luster a lot when you remember what continuity is, and that 4 out of the 7 mains can one-shot this damn thing. RWBY and Nora have killed it together. Nora can amp herself in order to pull it off. RWBY can KO a giant mech with a swipe. I see no reason why she couldn't just rip this thing apart. Weiss has taken out something 3 times more powerful than it in her first appearance.
All in canon.
Yang. Do I really need to say more? Look, throughout durability, strength, variety, speed, they're all just in RWBY's favor. You could make it trailer or volume 1 versions and I could side with them. And you could just say, well, RWBY has had more exposure. But if the narrative point of Aesop's is to build them up to be an obstacle, then you have to build them up. Either way, it's still a narrative failure. And I just can't take them giving RWBY trouble any seriously. Even Harriet, who they have been directly comparing to RWBY, we know that RWBY is faster. We see that in the episode. Even the point where Harriet tries to gloat and say her reflexes is faster. They don't make it a fair comparison. Harriet already has a running start, and RWBY is not competing. She's just saying, well, I'll have it. I'll take it. She's not even going for it. And then RWBY clearly outpaces her in the next scene. So it just doesn't fly. What they're telling us and what they're showing us, once again, are 2 different things. I plan to make a longer video at some point about how RWBY just doesn't seem to understand the magnitude of their world and how undermining their characters like this sabotages the dramatic tension. But yeah, for now, RWBY should wreck Aesop's crew. RWBY just hasn't built them up well. But let's move on. So, our heroes are on the run. I have a question. What's the tension? They can flog Aesop's, the best team in the kingdom. Most of their members can one-shot paladins, let alone fight. They can just one-shot paladins off the bat. The best Atlantean ground units. And their airships are so flimsy a 15-year-old can Goomba stomp them out of the sky. So at this point, RWBY has made Atlas look so pathetic. I can't take any help or hindrance they attempt to provide seriously. Once again, a situation that should provide tension. Our heroes are alone, isolated in a kingdom, surrounded by enemies. That they seem to have spent the last 7 volumes building up to be completely useless and pathetic. Again, a situation that should provide tension is undermined by a lack of attention to consistency and world building, both in the short term, this volume, and in the long term, the series as a whole. Also, unless we're skipping, like, hours, I find it really hard to believe that someone in the middle of all this chaos made the time to shop all of their profile pictures together and then advertise it. That's just, I don't know, that's just one of those weird things of when you actually think about it, man, that person is dedicated to their photoshopping skills. Alright, what else is there? Maiden stuff. So, Winter and Penny are going to secure the Winter Maiden powers. If it's a time skip, they should be done. What could happen? Well, really the only thing that can happen is Cinder could interrupt. I could see Winter fighting her to buy time for Penny to get the powers. That would actually be kind of interesting, where they're betting on Winter getting the powers partway through the fight because Freya is thinking of her, and then suddenly, bam, Penny has them instead, and then Penny has to take over. Or, I have a counter-proposal. We all know Penny has 1 resurrection left in her. Well, in Pedro. So, I think Penny dies holding off Cinder, so Winter gets the powers. Then it's a vengeance match for Winter because they had, like, one partial conversation interaction, and that's enough to say they're friends. So then Pietro dies, resurrecting Penny one last time at the end of the volume. So this time Penny has no ha ha ha, I can just be repaired type thing. She's one and done. And then she can die in the finale, like she's just a robot, and her last words can be something really, really crud, like "you made me alive, Ruby," or something like that. It's a robot with a soul plot. We've all seen at least one anime, I assume. What's left? Oh yeah, Neo and Oscar. I really don't care. I mean, let's get really technical. Neo's mute, she can't use the relic. She can't say Jin to draw her out. So, I mean, we all know what's going to happen here. Neo and Yang rematch. Because the two had such chemistry in that, like, one random fight they had in V2, and never interacting apart from that. Let's just get the crap fan service out of the way, please. Have the Neo Yang stuff and get it over with. And that's it. That's really what we have lined up for this episode. I mean, Salem could arrive, but if she does and the city isn't in the stratosphere to freeze the Grim, like, everyone just dies. They just lose. Salem can just walk through everyone. So, yeah, that's all we got. Let's see if V7 can pull out of this nosedive. See you guys in the morning.